Welcome to the Happy Mama Movement podcast. I'm Amy Taylor-Kabbaz, mama, journalist, coach, and founder of Mama Rising. This podcast is a space of community and collaboration. We gather stories of matrescence, motherhood, womanhood, and change told by our Mama Rising coaches and mothers around the globe, in the knowing that through our stories, we can begin to heal and change the way the world sees, values, and supports mothers everywhere. So, welcome to the Happy Mama Movement. And welcome to an episode of Take the Mic. Take the Mic is an initiative of Mama Rising to hand this platform and this microphone over to one of our amazing Mama Rising coaches and facilitators around the world to give her a chance to share her story of matrescence and motherhood, the stories of the mothers in her community, so we can all hear each other's stories, heal together, and change the way the whole world acknowledges matrescence and motherhood. So here is one of our coaches.
Hi, I'm Rebecca Hogan. I'm a mum of one to an amazing, almost 9-year-old girl. I live in Berkshire in England, and I really enjoy my daily life being a mum, a wife, and I love working too. Through joining Mama Rising with Amy and working with other amazing female coaches and mentors, I've been able to shape a coaching business that really lights me up. I've claimed my most confident and happy me, and I get to help other mums to claim their most confident, happy selves too. I feel super grateful to get to do this, but I didn't always feel this happy or confident. Throughout my 20s and 30s, I was dedicated to my career. In the earlier days, it was fun working and playing hard, but in my late 20s into my 30s, I realised now looking back, I was working all the hours because I was unsure of myself. I was constantly trying to prove myself, so much so that I experienced burnout a couple of times. I did enjoy lots about the roles I had. I worked in small marketing agencies, then big agencies in London, and finally in a big corporate, British multinational telecommunications company. But deep down, I always knew I wanted to work more with people, especially women. And over the years, I kept looking into other options such as psychology and counselling, but something held me back from making the change. It was only when I got married and struggled to get pregnant that I bit the bullet and decided to train as a reflexologist and a homeopath. As soon as I completed my reflexology training, I left my corporate job. I set up my own complementary therapy business. The idea being to create the right lifestyle to support me to become a mum and to work around our child once we were blessed with one. So it was through my fertility journey that my matrescence journey really began. I'd been given a reason to totally reevaluate the way I was living my life even before I became a mum. It was the moment I became really clear on what was most important to me and what kind of future I really craved. I knew from the way corporate life was working out for me personally that I'd find it incredibly difficult to feel I was doing enough at work or at home. I felt I'd be heading for another burnout as I was already struggling to feel on top of work with the time freedom I had at this point. Now I know it was my own high expectations of myself that were part of my problem, and I learned through Mama Rising coaching training with Amy that this was me already feeling the inner split that we face as women when we become a mum. We ask ourselves, how on earth do you do it all well enough? We think we're failing if we can't, but actually it's simply not possible. Realising that, the pressure I was feeling was huge. Knowing it was due to the good girl and the perfect mother narrative that we've been sold since we were little helped me a lot. I'm so grateful I got to choose the flexibility and the freedom of self-employment over the security of a regular income. I realised the privilege of having a husband that could cover me and was willing to support me. It was my dream, yet I still struggled to live the lifestyle I desired, the lifestyle that would give me the best chance of falling pregnant. I was still hustling, just in a different way. now to achieve success in my own business, not for the benefit of a corporate company at least. I was happier and more fulfilled, but I wasn't less tired, and I wasn't as relaxed with the tool as I'd planned to be. I was unknowingly chasing success in society's terms. I had my focus mainly on an income goal rather than my personal goal of better well-being with some financial independence too. But my why was to have more time freedom for fertility treatment and to help other women prioritise their own well-being, to find a more balanced and relaxed pace of life. I didn't realise it, but I already had what I needed to feel successful. Becoming aware of this has been a game changer. These days, I can feel more relaxed and at ease, enjoying the now as well as working towards an exciting future. Because I know my why, and I make sure only to check in with my own definition of success. I totally recommend it. My fertility journey carried on for a few more years. It taught me you can't control everything. I couldn't make things right. I couldn't just put in more effort to be healthy, to live in a cleaner, greener way, nor by having lots of complementary therapies myself. I learned that doing all the things doesn't always pay off. I had a few surgeries to investigate and to manage physical symptoms of what turned out to be severe endometriosis. And even when I was a mum with a baby in tow, I still struggled with it. A couple of incidents when the pain meant I couldn't care for my child without calling on a friend one time and calling on my husband home another to help, it led to my decision to have a full hysterectomy. My daughter was around 2 at the time. My mum came over from France to look after her while I was in hospital, and luckily she could stay so I could recover properly once I was home too. The hysterectomy was the best thing I ever did, not just so that it could be healed, I could be healed physically. It was a huge marker for realising that I needed to heal emotionally too. Resting and recovering was the start of me realising I needed to let go of some expectations I was putting on myself that were really making it difficult for me to enjoy motherhood. It was at that time that I really realised I'd lost myself. I'd been putting myself to the bottom of the list, and that needed to change now. I needed to do something for myself. I realised now that other people could care for her as well as I could, and I could ask for help, and I could cut corners sometimes too. Motherhood is hard, and you're not always recognised or appreciated, so you can feel your confidence and your sense of self diminish. I now urge all mums to do what you need to do for you to maintain your sense of self and your confidence. Getting back to my reflexology business for an income didn't fill the gap. Reading more parenting books and listening to more podcasts about motherhood, it reassured me a bit, but I needed more. So whilst recovering, I decided to sign up for sewing lessons so I could make my own clothes like my mum and her mum had. It felt like a way of bonding with my female line and my feminine self. It made sense to me without me fully understanding why I felt totally drawn to it. Sewing my own clothes became a hobby that helped me feel I was accomplishing something which parenting wasn't fulfilling. Having a creative outlet like this was super mindful. It was a kind of therapy for me, really. And the added bonus was that I became a part of an all-female community in person at the Sewing Hub and online on Instagram too. It was wonderful. But over time, I realised I was starting to sew more for the recognition and the Instagram likes, comments, and kudos than I was for me to have something to do and to wear. And that realisation, combined with the pandemic, led me to find out more about coaching, which I'd heard all about by now. I wanted to work out how to enjoy life more than I was, to feel more relaxed in myself and my daily life, to know I was a great mum, but also to discover what else I needed to be the happier, more carefree, and more fun pre-mum me. Allowing my hubby and other people to help with my daughter had meant I was left questioning, who am I now? And by this time, I knew I didn't want to be just mum either. I needed to feel I was doing enough to be known as a great mum and to feel good about myself. I was seeking approval from others that I was being enough and doing enough, and I didn't know why. I couldn't work as a reflexologist in the pandemic, so it was the perfect time to invest in a holistic coaching training course that would sit beside my other therapies. I loved how it helped me to get an understanding of what was causing me to push myself so hard in my life, in my marketing roles, in my own business, and in motherhood. And I got to rework that inner voice and start to look after myself more mentally, physically, and emotionally. I realised that by pushing and working hard at things, it's not always necessary, and it can actually be detrimental to find and achieve the right outcome. That by relaxing and just following your own thoughts and instincts more helps you to see what's really needed and what isn't. The coaching course also introduced me to the power of having big dreams and the power of having a vision for my future too. Yet I was still feeling that push and pull of trying to be a mum and be me, so I was drawn to listening to more podcasts about motherhood. They helped me to realise it wasn't just me that was struggling. And once I came across Amy and the word Matrescence, I inhaled her book, Mama Rising, and I signed up to the coaching training, Mama Rising, straight away. That's when I really learned to work on my inner voice, healing the inner mean mama, as Amy calls it. I discovered why we as females inherit this critical voice and have to work on being kind to ourselves, to realise we're only human and no one can always give 100% and get 100% of things right. It was huge. Knowing how important it is to give ourselves grace in the tricky moments has been a total game changer for me and the clients I now work with too. Empowering ourselves with a strong sense of self-worth and confidence and being able to ask for help is so important for our own sake and for the sake of our children too. It's how we get to be the best mum we can be. It's a win-win. Through Mama Rising, I've got to recognise the early warning signs of those times when I feel I won't be able to do as much in a day or as good a job as I'd like to do. Now, rather than pushing on regardless, trying to do it all and getting grumpy with those around me due to the struggles and frustrations, I can communicate how I'm feeling calmly and more sensitively to others. Most of the time, anyhow. No one is perfect, right? Which means my partner or loved ones can easily offer help, or I can ask for it so that the day works out better for me and everyone around me too. I'm also more able to recognise and allow myself to relax the expectations and pressures we all put on ourselves. I'm now so much more able to see and take some shortcuts so I can breathe easier and enjoy the moment more. My mantras, teamwork makes the dream work and less is more, are powerful reminders, and I constantly refer back to them to reassure me in my day-to-day life. I still feature these sentiments on my vision board. My vision board is my most powerful wellbeing tool. My first coaching course taught me the law of attraction theory behind why having a vision works. But it was when I discovered the science that it's the power of the mind and is backed by success psychology that my belief really kicked in. That was when I started to fully utilise the power of having a vision and a vision board. And now I love to help mums to create their visions and set their intentions for their daily lives right now, and to dream big and be bold in setting goals for their future too. Focusing on your vision is how you program your mind to level up your life, to feel great now and feel excited for your future too. Then through taking regular action to achieve your goals and live by your intentions, you gain that confidence in yourself and feel enough, because you know you're making the most of your life and are taking care of yourself too. Having a vision helps women to create more balance in their life, start being more present, make more conscious choices on how to spend their time and energy, and to help them enjoy living as a woman they really want to be. Your vision board is your visual representation of your hopes, dreams, goals, and your intentions, both now and in your future. I discovered that confirmation bias explains how your mind supports you to achieve it, and a car analogy is how I explain it to people. So, for example, you decide on a make and model and colour of a car, and suddenly you see it everywhere. It's the same when you spend time creating your vision and keeping it somewhere you can see it regularly. Your vision is your map. It's your reminder to focus on what you want to be, do, have, and experience in life. And your subconscious mind, using confirmation bias, awakens you to the signs and opportunities. It's reassuring you you've made a good decision. It wants you to be comfortable, so it shows you the evidence you've made a good decision. Taking the car analogy further still, you draw your roadmap, you set your subconscious sat nav, and your subconscious mind gets to work. It helps you. It gets you to use the fastest roads and the motorways where you can. And by working on your mindset to feel confident in you, you can also learn to trust it, so you can relax and enjoy a pause when you get stuck at lights, or enjoy the views when you have to take a scenic route. Working on your mindset helps you let go of old beliefs that you should be doing more, so you can allow yourself to stop at the services to restore yourself, and even to stay at home when the conditions aren't good, trusting you'll be back on the road when all is well again. I've learned so much about how women thrive, and this car analogy incorporates how we can benefit from working within our cyclical energy cycles. We can choose to allow ourselves more flexibility, to rest when we need to take time out for our family and friends more. Our brains are constantly taking note of what the norms are and what others are doing. They are trying to keep us safe, but we can be brave and coach ourselves to let go of those shoulds and unhelpful patterns of thinking, feeling, and behaving. So we can kick those fears, doubts, and worries to the curb. We can give ourselves permission. We can set our own rules, and it pays us back in bucket loads of joy, energy, and feeling more efficient too. Your health and well-being matters so much. As Amy says, you're the glue that holds it all together. You matter and your happiness matters too. So I help clients to work on all of this, to confidently reclaim who they are, to recognise their personal values, their own unique definition of success, to know what they love in life, and to make time to look after it themselves and enjoy life more. Thriving and feeling alive because you're feeling well, passionate about life, and excited for your day. My clients discover all they need to know to live their dream life via my Free to Be Me coaching program. They get to discover their vision for their dream life. They set intentions for how they want to live their daily life right now, and they uncover their future goals and dreams and start taking action to make them happen. They get to develop the confident new mindsets that can let go of those old beliefs and feel free to be themselves and build the habits and routines that make it easy for them to bring their vision to life. And they get to receive ongoing support for 9 months to ensure they can find and integrate the tools, tips, and techniques they enjoy, they benefit from, and that work best for them and their lives. So they can live with more ease, flow, fun, and fulfillment. I'm also a co-host of Mumanist, a podcast for mums trying to juggle it all, and I'm writing a book called Need to Be, The Confident Mum's Guide to Motherhood, which I hope to be published in September 2025 in time for my 50th birthday. If you'd like to connect and chat about any of what I've shared with you, all my details are in the show notes. I'd love to hear from you. Thanks so much for listening, and thanks again, as always, to the wonderful Mama Rising community of coaches and to Amy herself, who I'm so grateful to have been on a journey with for over 4 years now. Thank you, and take care.